My name is Roger Boulton. I'm a professor of enology and a professor of chemical engineering at the University of California. And I have the good fortune to be an endowed chair recipient, which means I have an endowment of money to do research.
So tell us, so you actually, enology is the wine industry. What are some of the challenges the wine industry is facing right now?
Water, sustainability, stewardship of existing land. Those are the main ones, and those are the ones which are thought of as not being immediately relevant for winemaking. They're peripheral, but they'll probably determine which companies succeed and fail.
Tell us what kind of role data is going to play in the wine industry going forward.
Critical, and a lot of the decisions that people are reluctant to take, and the planning and the analysis of investment, all of those are driven on where's the information.
One thing you talked about earlier in your lecture, people save energy and they use it for productivity, but also using it for quality and actually tracking the fermentation, the cycle.
Sure. If you can follow some of those measurements as the fermentations are developing, you can eliminate the possibility of having an incomplete fermentation, which is the fermentation problem.
One, I think I got it right, where actually you're looking in day 2 of a fermentation cycle and you can predict the dryness.
That's right, and so that's not curve fitting after you've got the curve. That's actually modeling based on the early development and behavior, and a model that can actually understand what's going to happen with that early development. That's the information of the early behavior, which is the key to being able to do that.
And one last thing is, if you give us an overview of what UC Davis is doing in terms of sustainability.
So the winery was built to be what we call, in today's terms, to be quadruple net zero. That means net zero energy, that means net zero water, that means net zero carbon, and that means net zero chemistry. So those are coming. So to have a building which runs on the rainwater that captures from the roof of its buildings and doesn't use anybody else's, and captures its energy as solar panels and stores it and doesn't use anybody else's, and it doesn't release CO2 and doesn't put out a lot of chemistry, that's the model. And so that's what we try, that's what the design was for. That would make it, to my knowledge, the first self-sustainable building of its kind in the world.
Is private industry going to pick it up?
That's what that is. That's a demonstration example. Well, you saw it there this morning. People were talking about what's the return on these things. If you're going to lead, you can't be talking about return on investment. You'll have to wait and follow. So there's many people want to talk about leadership, and the answer is, well, don't use the ROI because you won't do it until it's absolutely necessary. That's not what we call leadership.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.